Yeah, yeah. Took the whole team to the promised land. Rest in peace to my father, man. Wish he could have seen the plan.
And we're back with another episode of the Two Man Game Podcast. This is episode 19. Um, we're going to keep it simple today. We're just going to stick to basketball. About a month into the season, NBA season. College basketball actually started yesterday,
Yeah.
or in the past couple days. But that's also good too. But yeah, NBA season is in full force. We got some surprises. We got some things to talk about. But yeah, let's get started.
Yeah. So, like you said, about a month into the season, so far, what has been your biggest surprise, disappointment? I mean, a lot of the teams who I thought would be competing for the top spot on both sides. There's some teams that are, but there's some big surprises too. So I'll let you go ahead. One of your surprises so far this season.
Hey, this is no surprise. The Utah Jazz, right? So when we get back into the top five of the week, which we're going to do start back next episode. If this was to happen today, the Jazz will be number one right now, sitting at 9-3 in the West.
I don't know about number one right now. I would probably still have Bucks, not.
I get you. I get
But,
you. Bucks, Cavs.
But I like
but it'd be a good argument for me. It'd be a good argument.
I get what you're saying though. Yeah,
I'd go for it. I'd put them number one. But yeah, the Utah Jazz, man, 9-3. Will Hardy has these boys playing really well. I think he's the second youngest coach in the NBA, which is amazing. Joe Mazzulla with the Celtics being, the youngest right now. So these young coaches right now got these boys playing really well. But yeah, again on the Jazz, man, they're just such a team with a bunch of like guys. Who, I would say
they're all just solid.
I would say they
solid.
have a chip on their shoulder, pretty much. Like a bunch of guys, came in from the Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell trade. So they're trying to prove themselves, right? People thought they were going to be in the sweepstakes for Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, I think they're probably top 5 lowest win totals projected wise.
Yep.
Before the season started, they're sitting at 9-3. Like
sitting at 9-3, man. Second in points per game. They're first in 3-pointers made. They're just shooting the lights out right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you would have asked me though, like trade Rudy Gobert, trade Donovan Mitchell, get all these guys who teams didn't really want necessarily, and you're sitting at top in the West right now. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. The Jazz are playing really well.
They're just playing good team ball, really, and like Lauri Markkanen and Jordan Clarkson. Just like, I mean, they're both good players, but like as your like number 1 and number 2 option, I wouldn't expect them to be performing how they're doing right now.
Right.
It's a total shocker if you ask me. It's but it's good to see. It's always good to see these teams that you don't expect to do nothing. And they perform very well. So it's good to see. I didn't expect it one bit. I don't know if anyone besides people in Salt Lake City, and I don't even think they expected this right now either. So good for them.
Yeah, it's good from the standpoint of a lot of these teams that when they start rebuilding, that's what they're looking to do. But these boys came in and said, no, we're not looking to rebuild. We're looking to get back to the playoffs where the Jazz have been for the past, so-and-so years with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, y'all didn't want us. We're going to prove to y'all why y'all needed us. So,
yeah,
good for them.
Yeah. I don't know if this is really a surprise. I thought that they would be good coming into the season, but the Cavaliers, they're sitting at 8-2 right now. They got one of the, I believe it's number 2 defense defensive rating in the league right now. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland it's looking like a seamless fit for them. What do you thinking about them so far?
Yeah, no, absolutely. The Cavs are actually second in 3-point percentage right now. So that's going back. I mean, these two teams are playing really well. It goes to show you what it pretty much takes to win in this league now. Obviously, other than defense, that's always number one. But 3-point shooting and how efficient can you be from the 3-point line? And we see that in LA, the Lakers are last in the league in 3-point percentage. They're 2-8. So, but yeah, no, they're playing really well. Donovan Mitchell on that stretch when Darius Garland had that eye injury was playing phenomenal.
Playing out of his mind, man.
Out of his mind.
Making plays, scoring the ball great. it's cool. My only concern, well, not concern, but problem, I guess you could say, is with the Cavs is I feel like they don't utilize Evan Mobley enough. I feel like he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't get enough touches. I don't know if you've seen the same thing. I just like every time I'm watching them, I feel like he's not as involved as I would like. I guess I mean, I'm not a coach, obviously,
Yeah.
but as much as I would like to see. I mean, he was a top 3 pick. I would think you would use him more. But when you have guys like Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, you want the ball in their hands, and Karis LeVert too. He's been great for them. I mean, he had a 40 piece against the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was last week. So they're playing good ball though. 8-2 right now. I mean, before the season, I said I don't know how they would do with just wing players, just because Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, smaller players. But then you have the Twin Towers behind you, so that's going to benefit you for sure. But overall, I didn't know how it would work. But since number 2 defense in the league as of right now, so I can't say much.
Yeah, can't say much right now.
Yeah, it's good to see. I know last year we were like, oh, are the Cavs going to make the playoffs first time since LeBron? I think you could stamp it now, saying that they're going to make the playoffs, bearing no injuries or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Now I don't want to make any guarantees because it seems like every time we do this, something totally opposite happens. So,
Besides my
but as
Astros pick,
besides your
and
Astros pick, was that on here? Did you do it on here?
well, I did, but then it didn't come out, unfortunately.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
But
Okay.
I had him since like June, going to the World Series. I didn't have him winning, but I had him going. So I think
Speaking of that,
that's
shout out to Dusty Baker. Finally got one. Been I think managing for over 25 years now. So yeah, good for him. Especially good for him.
yeah, that's dope. But yeah, the Cavs right now
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
balling out, and I think this will be their year to make the playoffs, and I think they could make some serious noise though. I mean, the East is pretty stacked this year, but I think they could compete with most teams. Their starting lineup
100%.
could play with anyone, and Kevin Love has been solid. Osman has been good every time I've watched. They've been one of the teams I've been trying to watch as much as I can. Another team they dealt with injuries last year and they're playing good basketball right now is the Blazers. It's good to see Damien Lillard back playing. He was hurt with the abdominal uh, problem last year. I don't know the exact details. I forgot, but right now 29, 4-5 for Dame. They're 7-3. What do you think about the Blazers?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Whenever you could have Dame miss a game like he did against the Suns and they still get a dub in Phoenix, that shows what your team can do. And so Jeremy Grant had a 30 ball that game, hit the game winner. We talked about it, I think maybe offline. But that's your third option right there. And some nights maybe your second option. So
Yeah,
I think these young teams, man, like the Trailblazers, I want to say the Pelicans and the Grizzlies, like any given night, one of their 5 starters can go off and have a great night. So whenever you're doing that, I feel like it's just a great mix. And they're
yeah,
also shooting the ball well too. So
yeah. I
that's
really
great.
like the Blazers. Their starting lineup. I mean, if Josh Hart's your worst starter, I think
Mm-hmm.
you're in a good spot. He just
Mm-hmm.
makes the right plays, rebounds the ball really well for his position. And then Nurkic is, I think, one of the most slept on big men in the league. I mean,
Yep.
he can't really guard nobody, especially with
Yeah,
the pick
yeah,
and
yeah.
roll or nothing like that. But offensively, he could score down low. He could rebound the ball, and he could shoot the 3 a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he settles for the 3 a little bit too often, but and they also Gary Payne the second hasn't played for them yet either,
That's true.
and that's going to be a
That's
huge
gonna be
boost.
huge.
Just a high IQ guy. I mean, the Warriors are missing him right now. I think they would love to have Gary Payne on their bench right now.
Yeah, they can't
So
defend without fouling right now. So yeah, they would love to have
yeah, we'll get into that in a bit. But
that.
yeah, right now, I mean, I really like what the Blazers are doing. I think coming in, I thought they would be like a six seed below playing fringe. I mean, they're like I said, their starting lineup could play with anyone, but their depth was kind of my concern. But as of right now, they're proving me wrong. So I like what I see. It's always nice to see Dame just on the court. I mean, the dude's one of the most clutch players in the league,
Yeah.
and the league definitely missed him. So it's good to see him back. Yeah. No, exactly, exactly. I mean, we already saw that against the Lakers. You know, that was like the first week of the NBA. He was already coming back, making clutch plays and whatnot. So it's good to see. I don't know if you have any more early surprises or just surprising.
Not really a surprise, but a disappointment. That's the Miami Heat. They obviously coming off last year when they had the best record in the Eastern Conference. They just haven't looked like the Miami Heat. I know Jimmy Butler missed a few games. Bam Adebayo hasn't been, I want to say, aggressive and really been that second option that they really need. They're 27th in points per game. Their pace is slower. Just from me watching a couple games, pace is slower, and they also just a middle of the pack in defensively. So Eric Spoelstra need to get these boys up and get these boys going. Maybe him and Udonis Haslam should have a little sit down and yell at the young guys. I don't know, but
Yeah,
they haven't looked good.
yeah, yeah, definitely where they're sitting in the standings. I wasn't expecting that at all. I mean, I don't. With them losing PJ Tucker, I thought they would take a little bit of a decline, somewhat, but not this far. But it's still early. They have time to get right.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, with continuing with the disappointments, I gotta include my Warriors, man. 4-7 right now. They just got back from a crazy road trip.
0-5 on that road trip, right?
0-5. They lost to the Hornets, the Pistons, and the Magic on that road trip, and those are all bottom. You didn't expect them to make much noise. Hornets didn't even have LaMelo Ball or Rozier either, so that just makes it even worse. But as of right now, it's looking rough. I'm not gonna like overreact or nothing, but I mean, even last night they were struggling with the Kings, even though the Kings they're much improved than what they've been in the past. But right now the Warriors they just can't defend without fouling. It's really really bad, and it seems like every quarter the other team is in the bonus and in the bonus early too.
Yeah. That Magic game they had. The Magic got in the bonus early in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then early in the fourth quarter. And that just was bad news for the Warriors
Yeah.
the rest of the game.
I mean, it's already tough to play defense, but if you're in the bone, if the other team is in the bonus and you can't play as aggressive, they're able to get easier driving lanes. And then when they are driving by people, they're fouling unnecessarily. And so, yeah, it's really rough right now for the Warriors. I mean, Steph Curry, he's playing great. That's great to see.
Yeah, no, he's
But
playing amazing.
yeah, it's crazy how he just keeps getting better and better. But their bench right now is struggling too. And Klay Thompson, I'm not like people are really hard on him, like expect him to be Klay Thompson of old this early. He hasn't even been back for a year yet. I think
Yeah.
it's my friends always get on me. Oh, you're just being soft on him. You're a Warriors fan and whatnot. It's like I'm realistic. Guys are coming off injuries like Kawhi Leonard. I mean, he's been out for quite some time, and I mean, I don't know what the whole deal is with him with his injury management. I know his knees needs discomfort and stuff like that. But right now, Klay Thompson, he's averaging 15, 3, and 2, 36% from the field, and 32% from three. And for me, I feel like he's forcing it a lot. He's taking a lot of tough shots. So like yeah, you can make those shots, but you could get better shots. And
Yeah.
when he's taking the good shots, he's making them. But when he's taking these contested threes and tough mid ranges and turnaround jumpers, I mean, you can make those. But if you're relying on those too often, your percentages are going to reflect the shots. So
Yeah. I mean, I think it's tough, right? Because he came back towards the end of last season. Was pretty much
when
the second
January,
half.
it was like January.
It's like the second half
End of
of the
January,
season.
yeah.
End of January. Okay. He's on a minutes restriction when he comes back. Then he's kind of ramping it up for the playoffs, and then boom, back into the offseason.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that kind of has a toll, like taking a toll on him, just like legs, maybe.
Yeah. Well, a lot of his shots are short. I mean,
Yeah.
you said you watched the game last night,
Hmm.
and even last night he had open shots, just missing them
Yeah.
shorts.
A lot of probably leg issues, but
Well, he didn't play any 5-on-5 the whole summer,
hmm
so I think that plays into a huge
yeah, I
part
think
of it.
that's huge. Yeah,
He
that's
only
huge.
played one preseason game in the or before the season, so it's I think he's just trying to get his groove back. Maybe I'm being too nice and don't want to judge him, but like I understand he did just come off two major injuries back to
Yeah,
back. It's going
so
to take
tough,
some
man.
time to get back.
So tough.
So I mean, yeah, he's a high paid player. People want to see those guys perform, but I try to be realistic with it and not just try to judge people on the play. But I
Hmm.
feel like his defense is still like it's not where it used to be, but it's still solid. I mean, last night Darren Fox was low key cooking him, but that's Darren Fox and he's playing great right now.
Yeah, it's one of the quickest
And
players
he's
in the league.
and one of the quickest players in the league. So um but yeah, that's I guess that's my
Hold on.
Warriors rant for
Quick,
right now.
quick question before we get into the next topic. So I know how the Warriors, most of their core guys aren't playing back to backs right now. Is that true?
I think it just matters what kind of situation they're in. I wouldn't say all like I expect Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green to play back to backs. Not all the time, but
Yeah.
for the most part, I expect them to be able to play back to backs. I
Okay.
think it just matters which situation, how the game went. Like last night, like Andrew Wiggins played 40 minutes. Like he usually doesn't do that, but they got a couple days off, so he's able to get rest and whatnot.
Hmm.
So I think it just matters what kind of situation they're in and
Hmm.
who they're playing. I think that factors into it too, because sometimes these teams don't want to even play their main guys against good teams because you don't want to show them nothing and stuff like that. So I think it just matters factors into kind of the where they're at in the schedule, how many games they're dealing with, 3 games in 4 nights or something like that. How the schedule is. So
Hmm.
I think it just will matter like that. But their bench also has been pretty poor. I didn't mention that earlier either, but they've been having leads in first quarter, second quarter, bench players come in, the lead just disappears. So the Warriors got some stuff to figure out for sure, defense and rotations. So
Yep.
we'll see the defending champs dealing with some adversity. So see how they bounce back.
See how they bounce back.
Another underperforming team for me is the Nets. They've been dealing with drama, the whole Kyrie situation. So he's going to be away from the team for a little bit. Ben Simmons, he missed a couple games due to a knee injury. He's back, but is he back though? I'm not. There's a lot of people who try to bash Ben Simmons. We're not going to sit up here and bash him, but he's got to play better and he has to be a threat when he's on the court.
Hmm.
Right now they're sitting at 4-7. KD looks better than ever still, but just they haven't looked very good. Steve Nash got fired. That's a
Yeah.
whole nother situation.
That's on
But
top of what's going on.
yeah, but I thought it was going to happen. They've been terrible defensively since he's been there.
Hmm.
It was it someone had to get the blame for it, and when you're the head coach, you
Of
get the
course.
blame.
Of
So
course.
that's gonna happen. Um, But yeah, I mean, just the Ben Simmons thing, man. I don't know if you want to add anything to it, but I haven't liked what I've seen from him so far this year. It seems like he's taken a step back from the last time we saw him in the playoffs, and like the playoffs, he wasn't very good in that
Yeah.
series against Atlanta, but he doesn't even look at the rim. All he does is want to dribble handoff with people, not even roll aggressively and be able to make that 3-on-4 when they're doubling KD or Kyrie coming off the dribble handoff. He's not being aggressive. It's just he just looks like it's just rough right now.
Yeah. I mean, he looks like
What
he don't want to be there. I'm not going. I'm not saying he don't want to be there, but it just doesn't look like he's playing hard or playing like he aggressive like you said, like he used to.
Yeah,
This is a man who was compared to somewhat to LeBron James coming out of college,
yeah,
with the size, the vision, and the athleticism. And none of that athleticism is showing at all. He
yeah,
doesn't look. He gets the ball, like you said. He's not looking at the rim. He's looking for dribble handoffs, and I mean, KD even said it. Like, I mean, we need Ben to be Ben. Like, we need him to. I mean, do more than he's doing.
yeah,
So he came off the bench against Dallas. I think he had like 2 points. See, that's not gonna cut it, especially with Kyrie being out.
yeah.
At this point, you don't even know who the second option is right now when Kyrie's gone. So
Royce
that,
O'Neal.
yeah, Royce O'Neal, who, come on now.
Yeah,
So we'll see. I'm not gonna give up on Ben, but right now it's not looking good.
yeah. I mean, I'm not expecting him to be like a 20 points per game scorer,
No.
but I would like to see if he could get like 12 points a game, 7 and 7, or like something in that
Hmm.
regards. But being aggressive, like, dude, if you miss free throws, like, screw it. Like,
Yeah.
you miss them. But like, at least if you're attacking the rim, you're getting the other team in foul trouble. Possibly, you're able to create. If you're being aggressive, they're gonna have to help. Then you can create for other people. It's just yeah, it's looking rough for Ben Simmons. I
He's
hope he could
gotta
turn it around.
he's gotta realize he's 6'10" and not 6'1". That's
Bro,
what he needs to realize.
last night he had Josh Green on him
Hmm.
on the post, and he didn't even look to post up. Like,
Yeah.
I'm usually not the one who's yelling at a TV, but like, I'm like, post up, bro.
Hmm.
Like you have a smaller player. If you attract another defender, then you kick it out. But it's
Hmm.
like, at least just be aggressive. I mean, he must be going through mental stuff with
Yeah, it's a mental
how,
block at this point.
yeah, yeah.
It's a mental block at this point.
I would like them to be aggressive. I mean, even myself in my playing career, like, I wasn't like the most aggressive at all times, but like, I mean, if you left me open, I would take a shot. Like, fuck
Hmm.
it, you either
Hmm.
make it or miss it.
Yeah.
You move
Yeah.
on to the next play.
100%.
So hopefully, hopefully they can turn around. As of right now, I don't like they were, I guess, expected to be contenders, but like, I just don't see it at this point where they're
Yeah.
at. But there's still a lot of season to turn around.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Right now, man, there's 7 players averaging over 30. Um, what do you think about this? I'll name them off for you. So it's Luca, Steph, Giannis, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Um, all these guys averaging 30. Lucas averaging 36, 8, and 8. Dude's a fucking bucket. What do you think about all these bucket getters right here, man? I mean, I feel like you don't see this all the time, but
Yeah.
it's like every night. It's every night you're seeing one of these crazy
Yeah. I
scoring
mean,
games.
those are pretty much all the guys you expect to do the scoring. One name that stands out to me is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
I love this game.
Yeah, who I
I
think,
love this game.
I mean, he doesn't take a lot of threes, right? He knows his game. He gets to the rim. He's crafty. Um, and he's just a joy to watch, man. I think that Thunder team, man, once they get Chet back,
Yeah.
Josh Giddey still in the mix, they're
Trey
going to be a
Man, solid.
Trey, man. They're going to be a really
Luke
fun
Dort
team.
is solid
I like
too.
Lou Dort. I like Lou Dort.
Plays good defense. Like,
Yeah, yeah. But the Thunder are going to be really fun to watch for the
yeah,
years. And
yeah,
Shea, like I said, man, Shea is just playing amazing right now.
yeah,
So I mean, they're 4-5. I mean, they're not terrible right now.
yeah,
So they're in games and they're playing hard. So yeah, that's out of those names, that's one name that stands out to me.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
I mean, the last couple nights, whenever he has a big game, I'm sending it to our Twitter chat. Like, bro, this dude's fucking
yeah.
so good. Like, his game is just like he's always at his own pace. He's never moving too
Hmm.
fast. He never takes a shot that's not in his game. Like, he
Hmm.
can shoot the three, but he's gonna just get to the bucket, turn around jumpers. Like, I mean, I
Hmm.
watched the game probably like 2 weeks ago against the Mavericks, and the game looked over, and he just started getting easy buckets.
Yeah.
He's a joy to watch, man. He's one of my favorite players to watch for sure. Um, I mean, before we hopped on air, I don't know if this is a hot take as of right now, but like, Jason Tatum, man, what he's been doing, he may be the best small forward in the league as of right now.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that statement, but what he's been doing on both sides of the ball it's great to see, man. The Celtics are better than ever right now, but yeah, that's just my whole thoughts looking at it. I mean, most of these guys, I know that they could all get buckets, but yeah, SGA that was one of the
Yeah,
ones that
that's
definitely like wow.
that's
I mean,
smooth.
even a couple nights ago, there was more people averaging 30, but as of right now, what is it, November? Is it the 8th? November 8th. Yeah, 7 guys over 30. So it's cool to see. All right, moving on. League pass teams. Who are the teams that you've been watching the most?
Well, going into the season, I would have said the Pelicans and the Grizzlies. I still think that's pretty much a thing. But now I like the Cleveland Cavaliers with Donovan Mitchell playing well. Again, talking about Shea Alexander, I like the Thunder as one of my league pass team. Well, I'm not gonna say they're my league pass team now. But moving forward, now that he's averaging 30 a game, I want to see that.
Yeah.
So he will be there. Um, on the West Coast, the Clippers haven't been playing well. That was one of my teams coming into it. The Warriors are 4-7, I believe.
Yeah. 4-7.
I'm not gonna say the Jazz are a league pass team, but if the Jazz are on, I'm not going to not watch it. Now that
Yeah.
they're 9-3 and playing really well. So those are a few teams. Obviously, my Washington Wizards too, who we're not off to the hottest start, but we're right there, right there. I think we're sitting there with 9 in the East. So yeah, those are my league pass teams.
Yeah, you guys are sitting at the 9. Yeah, for me, I would say the Celtics, Cavs, Nets, Mavericks, and of course, I'm watching my Warriors. And then what I tend to try to do is if those guys aren't playing like a great team, I always try to just watch the best matchup,
Best matchup of the night.
yeah, the best matchup of the night. I try to get that on one of my either my laptop or my TV. Try to get that on, but yeah, those have been the teams that I've been trying to pay attention to the most. I really like the play style of the Celtics, just the way they play for one another too. I love the addition of Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm,
I
yeah.
really like that addition. So that's been one of the teams I've been trying to watch a lot. So yeah, those are my teams. Um, so we're getting down to the end, I guess. But before we get out of here, I can't end without mentioning Paulo Banchero. Dude's
Mm,
averaging 23, 8, and 3 right now. I coming into the season, I thought that he was going to be good, but not this good this quick. I
yeah.
mean, he looking at it, he has a pro size body already, but his skill set is already pro moves and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. And his 3-point shot isn't there yet, but it's only going to get better as time goes on.
Yeah.
But as of right now, he's looking real comfortable.
Yeah. And it's looking scary because the Magic were thinking about getting or drafting Jabari Smith.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, he hasn't played great yet, but it's tough when you're judging rookies because some get off to a hot start,
Yeah.
but you always got to give them time. Like if they're not getting off to a hot start, so we'll see how that works. But yeah, Paolo, going back to what you said about pro moves, his turnaround jumper in the post is already polished.
Yeah.
And that is scary for an 18-year-old guy who just was in college 4 months ago. So yeah, Paulo looking early, looking like the runaway rookie of the year.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
So
it was
yeah.
with him it's so impressive. They played the Warriors last week and he
Mhm.
had a slow first half. Like he only had 5 points. And then most rookies you would think, oh well, if they have a bad first half, they're gonna probably have a bad game. Dude just turned around the second half and just turned up on them, bro. Like
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was looking like a vet in the league, bro.
yeah, yeah,
It's great to see, bro. It's really great to see.
yeah.
But
It's number one pick.
also, I gotta mention this. So as much hate as he gets by the whole basketball community, I have to give him his flowers. Russell Westbrook, since he's been coming off the bench, 19, 5, and basically 7 assists. Only thing I could say what is bad about his play is 4.5 turnovers since he's been coming off the bench. That's
Mm-hmm.
as a point guard, I don't like to see 4.5 assists, especially if you're I'm sorry, not assists, turnovers, especially if you're coming off the bench. Like I don't like that. But his energy has been great. I mean, the Lakers overall aren't good, but I've loved what I've seen from him so far.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he got MVP chance the other night in LA. He just looks, I don't know, he looks like he got a spring. I mean, it's amazing how much confidence works in basketball. So starting off the season and then last year, he looked so dejected playing basketball. He's airballing every game, missing layups, missing dunks. Now he has one good game off the bench, and now he just looks like Russell Westbrook of old. So
Yeah,
it's funny how confidence works in the NBA. It kind of looks like him and LeBron have like flipped the switch, like flipped sides a little bit. Because Bron just hasn't looked like himself in the past couple games. I know they said he was battling some type of illness. I don't know what it was, stomach virus. I don't know. But he also missed the game against the Jazz with that foot injury. So, yeah, Bron looking like Father Time is catching up.
yeah. I mean,
Yes,
it couldn't last forever, but like even like right now, he's averaging like 25, but his shooting
yes.
percentages
Mm-hmm.
aren't as good. But you could tell with Braun right now, like some shots and just some moves he makes, he just looks like he's getting older. And I mean,
Yeah.
I understand. I mean, all good things got to come to an end, but
Mm-hmm.
he's still falling out. Like it's it's weird. It's weird to see. I mean, it's but I mean that's what happens. But
Yeah. But shout
they've been
out
one of my
Westbrook though.
teams. Yeah, they've been one of the teams I also been trying to watch too. Just LeBron getting older. I want to try to soak in as much LeBron games as I can. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's basically yeah. It's been a good start though to the season. I really like where they're at today. There's no games unfortunately, but back tomorrow. So looking
Yes,
forward
sir.
to it.
Yes, sir. Hey, and then the Hawks too. I wanted to just real quick, I haven't watched much Hawks basketball this year. I need to get into that. But Trae Young and DeJounte, they're playing well together, it seems. So um Trae Young's averaging 28 a game. Only thing I don't like about Trae Young this year is his efficiency is but other than that, I think he'll turn it on. He's still averaging 28 a game nonetheless. So yeah, this efficiency wise for Trae Young.
Yeah. Yeah, I've caught a couple of the Hawks games. I watched them against the Knicks, and Dejounte Murray was going crazy against them. It's a good pairing. It's a good pairing. Two
Yeah.
guys who could create for themselves and others, and Dejounte Murray is just he's a demon on defense, getting steals and playing the passing lane. So, yeah, I like what they've been doing so far, though. Definitely gonna keep an eye out on them and see how it all plays out.
Yes, sir. We a month in, baby. Got a long way to go. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Two Man Game Podcast, episode 19. One more episode and LeBron has all-star appearances. That was a Draymond reference, whatever. Anyway, yeah, 1 month into the season, like what we see so far. Surprises, disappointments. We talked about those, and looking forward to the rest of the season. Can't wait. So come back, enjoy, and we'll be back with another one.